Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what surprised you the most about sex when you lost your virginity? Well, first off, just the fact I was having sex was very surprising to me. Fucking. Finally. Why are you giggling? We are about to have sex, oh my god, this is real, I'm about to get naked, oh my god. Phil, you are weird. The large amount of sounds that can be produced by the human body. Wet belly plus wet belly equals moist fart sound. For me it's more wet chest plus wet chest equals wet fart sound. My girlfriend, who was not a virgin, had to warn me of the queef noises vaginas can make during sex, so I didn't laugh in the middle. I wasn't the most mature. When there is talking and laughing, the deed is way more enjoyable. How sweaty I would get. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always sweaty. That my body didn't move the way I wanted it to. Also that I should probably work out more. Man, it makes you realize how useful those push-ups and crunches can be. The first time I was on top, I entirely blew out my abs for 3 days. How soft mattresses are awesome for sleep but exhausting for sex. Holy shit, I can relate. I have a $1,000 bed that's basically worthless for sex because you keep sinking into it and you can't hold yourself with your limbs because they start to hurt from constantly pushing up. Memory foam is awful for it too, literally absorbs shock so well. Those commercials with people jumping onto the bed and having a glass of wine and all that. Yeah. Get great sleep though. God, this. Being on top as a guy is basically advanced planking when your hands sink 5 inches into the mattress. Riding a guy on a soft mattress is hell also. Your knees sink into the mattress, so you're barely getting any movement, and every time you try to sit up, it feels like you're just further sticking your knees into the mattress instead of moving on your guy. How wet everything is. Had a sex class that said the women get wet. I expected my back after running wet, not that wet. I'm so wet. They told me in health class that would happen. Angry Ben Shapiro noises. How far down the vagina was. But not that low. Stay on target. Yes. I thought it would be somewhere in the front, like a penis. I just kept trying lower to a point I wondered if she even had a vagina. Well, did she? I blame movies/TV. They show people lined up wrong quite often. Before losing my virginity and watching movies with sex, okay, seems about right. After losing my virginity and watching the same movies, there's no way in hell he is inside of her, unless his penis is shaped like an umbrella handle. That my roommate would be walking in. Enter player 2. I didn't know I was losing 60% of my critical thinking and reasoning skills through my penis, but as soon as it left, it never came back. Newton knew. An object in your dick stays in your dick unless acted on by an outside force. That you can come under 1 minute. That I could not come at all. You're not the only one. At least 45 minutes, going strong, and she couldn't take any more. I think it's because the condom took a lot of the pleasure away for me. This. I assumed I would come embarrassingly quickly. Performance anxiety shocked the shit out of me and she got me really close, but I actually had to finish myself off. I've only felt that nervous a few times in my life. How the guy being nervous can affect almost everything, and the second time is normally much better when everyone is relaxed. Definitely overhyped and felt like a ton of pressure and pain. Second time is always better, you're spot on. God, the amount of pressure we ascribe to it. It's a status symbol to have sex, to be good at sex, to sex with the right partner, to not be too boring, to use the right positions. Like, I wish someone would have just told me, missionary is a staple for a reason. The emotional connection that you have with your partner is gonna be much, much more important than their social status or how attractive they are. Like, don't get me wrong, I was in my 20s and too arrogant to actually listen to any of the advice I clearly should have followed. But I wish someone would have said so all the same. I thought I'd be better at. Ended up looking like a dead fish. My first time. The girl was a dead fish/starfish and I couldn't get into it. Also, I was drunk and had whiskey dick issues, but didn't know that was a thing back then. Literally thought I might be gay for a good 2 to 3 months because of how much effort it took to stay hard. Same, except I was sober and she wasn't dead fish. It just couldn't get hard for no reason at all. How much I'm out of shape. After about 4 pumps in I was looking for an inhaler. Edit. Holy crap, thank you so much everybody for the likes and rewards. You guys are the best. Coach. Call a timeout. Just tag me in bruh. That it didn't hurt and wasn't awkward. I'd heard so much about how terrible the first time would be that I was surprised that it wasn't. Yeah, I was sure that it was going to be horribly awkward and that I was going to ejaculate too soon because literally everything I had seen and heard was about how terrible guys are at sex. I was so concerned that I was going to fall into the stereotype. But it was just fun and exciting. Awkward lol. Beforehand I had heard a lot about men coming too quick. Afterhand I was pretty disappointed since I didn't come once or even enjoy it really. Edit. Thanks for all the awards kind strangers and also for the supportive comments. Now I don't feel alone with my issue and also I got to change my mindset. Beforehand and afterhand I see what you did there. I didn't really mean to say it like that, but it just came out like that. When I lost my virginity I was so fucking nervous and didn't come. The lady I was with was super sweet and just told me to relax and it would come when we had sex later on. The second night I felt much more relaxed, and it felt amazing. I came, and it still is the best orgasm I've ever had in my life. First was how fast/hard the girl wanted me to do it. She was more experienced but my impression was that it should be slow and delicate and then ramp up. That was not the case, however, she wanted it like bang 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 right away. And then I didn't come because I was pretty nervous. I found out through more experience that being nervous and not coming was common for me with new or casual partners, but I have no issue completing the task once I'm more comfortable being intimate with the person. I have this as well. I began telling people that I will not come the first time but I will still have fun and do my best to please you. Some people take it as a challenge, which I find odd or think it's a line to make them try harder. I still think it's the right thing to do because managing expectations honestly is a good form of sexual communication. I have never finished from oral sex before. I tell every new partner this information and they always take it as a challenge. Still at a 0% bust rate from oral. Maybe TMI, but the thing that surprised me the most was that after the guy finishes in you, it drips back out of you afterwards. I had never thought about it before or the cleanup needed. That surprised me too, as a guy. I just thought it went somewhere. I literally thought it just got absorbed into her lol. I blame TV. How many times have you seen a quickie at a fancy ballroom party and then they tidy their hair, pull their short dress down a little and good to go? They'd become running down their legs at the party and it'd be gross. How much it was possible for me to nut. On me, on her, on the bed, on the floor, on the wall. It literally went to the window to the wall. Till sweat dropped down his balls. The vagina was not as tight as my hand but a lot warmer. Also it was lower than I thought it would be and tasted a lot better than I figured an orifice in a dark sweaty area would. It was lower than I thought it would be. This was my biggest thing. Probably since the porn I had watched was mostly skinny max, but I definitely thought the opening was in the front, not down low. Had one girl tell me she was surprised that dicks pointed up when erect. She thought they just got to 90 degrees and stopped there, probably from all the boner tents in movies. There definitely are dicks that are completely straight. When the girl's cat started nibbling at my toes. I didn't know she had one, so it freaked me the fuck out. In Soviet Russia, her pussy eats you. How warm it was. I mean, it makes sense of course, but I was still surprised. The penis spends most of its time outside a body, and shedding heat. To suddenly be put into a 37 degrees environment, and insulated there caught me off guard. Edit, people. Celsius obviously. This is interesting because as a woman, the thing that surprised me most was how warm his penis felt right before he inserted it. It's the only part of my first time that I vividly remember. Only part of my first time I vividly remember. Rip your partner. It's like it was finally home. The smell. Deleted. In the words of Jean Belcher. Smelling ambergris. Gross. Great. Gross. Great, is this what sex will be like? The first girl I had sex with had the most amazing smell. To this day I don't know what made her pussy smell that way, but it was intoxicating. The more turned on she was, the more intense it was, and it drove me wild. Bless that woman. She used a freshener called puss. Pheromones. Nothing changed about me though. I felt super guilty afterwards. Kinda like how on your birthday, you're a year older, but you don't feel any different. While fun, it was also kinda let down. Like on one hand you're a pussy, but on the other okay, so how is anything different? Western culture hypes up sex as a life-changing event when in reality it's basically just co-op masturbation. Co-op masturbation. I'm stealing this.